Hello, I have chosen Virginia Henderson. Virginia Henderson was chosen because her principles of patient care are what I strive for in my nursing practice. I believe each of the 14 needs must be met for the patient to attain optimal health. The current nursing setting is rushed and difficult to apply all of the principles established by Virginia Henderson. With a clear understanding of the 14 needs, a nurse can do their best with the patient to attain a high level of health. I believe several of the 14 needs are being overlooked in today's healthcare arena. The most avoided or overlooked needs, such as worship, work, play, and learning, are causing an imbalance in patients and in the community. Virginia Henderson is the leading theorist in nursing today. I think Virginia Henderson's need theory helps direct a nurse's practice. It enables a nurse to be creative and thoughtful while providing expert care to their patients. The needs are simply listed and interpretation is left up to the nurse. I chose this theory because I look for ways to offer complete health to my patients. There is a great imbalance in our daily lives and our community since several of the needs are overlooked or not seen as important anymore. Work is to be satisfying, not overbearing. Time should be set aside for leisure and fun, but instead we work harder and longer for things we want, and the practice of faith is now seen as time-consuming or restrictive instead of a way to build a deeper connection in life or with ourselves. I want my practice of nursing to follow the 14 needs so my patients can achieve optimal health. I think the nurses have the knowledge and can help the patient know what to do and show them how to return or maintain the health they currently have. As you can see from this diagram, the individual is affected by their health as well as by the environment. And nursing takes care of everything, the individual, the health, and the environment. So all four concepts are interrelated. Now let me give you an overview of her theory. Henderson's needs theory identifies 14 patient needs, which includes 1. Breathing normally, 2. Eating and drinking sufficiently, 3. Adequate body elimination, 4. Move and keep correct posture, 5. Adequate sleep and rest, 6. Adequate and appropriate dress, 7. Maintenance of adequate body temperature and adjusting clothing for such, 8. Is the cleanliness of the body and skin and grooming, 9. Avoid harming self, others, and be aware of environmental harms. 10 is to communicate with people regarding sharing feelings, emotions, needs, fears, and perceptions. 11 is worship according to one's beliefs. 12. Function in a manner that results in self-fulfillment. 13. Participate in diverse forms of recreation. 14. Satisfy the curiosity that results in normal health and development and using accessible health facilities. These principles were listed by nicely in Virginia Henderson's Principles and Practice of Nursing Applied to Organ Donation and Brain Death. Virginia Henderson believed the best health care is patient-focused. Better still, family-focused. Family is an essential part of a patient's well-being and must be encouraged to be a part of the care plan. She believed that nursing is primarily helping people, sick or well, in the performance of those activities contributing to health or its recovery or to a peaceful death, and that they would perform unaided if they had the necessary strength, will, or knowledge. Patients deserve dignity and assistance with obtaining that dignity. Now I'd like to explain the critique of the theory. The method of critique chosen for this theorist was created by Wall in 2005. The criteria Wall developed for critiquing grand theories explores several aspects of the theory. In the textbook Theoretical Nursing Development and Progress by Malaise, the criteria is listed as providing basic consideration, which is definition adequacy, empirical adequacy, and statement prepropositional adequacy, and internal analysis and evaluation, and finally with external analysis and evaluation. Virginia Henderson developed 14 needs in her needs theory. This theory is still used by nurses today and is used as a framework for many nursing practices and nursing education. Virginia Henderson identified 14 needs patients must meet to maintain or regain a state of health. While there are 14 needs that need to be addressed, some of those needs may already be taken care of, so focus can be placed on the remaining needs. We need to be in tune with our patients to know what these needs are. Providing for the 14 needs may seem very time-consuming, since there is not much time to provide care depending on the situation or the location. Focused attention must be placed on the immediately obvious needs while developing a relationship with the patient to discover deeper needs. The empirical adequacy was established as the theory was proved to be useful in all areas of nursing. I don't believe this theory needs further refinement. The needs are listed simplistically and easily understood. There is not any specific order the needs must be met in, which means that the nurse can meet the most apparent needs first. Each need is important individually, but each must be met so the patient benefits in every aspect of total health. Basically, the nurse's role is easily identified in this theory. For the internal analysis and evaluation of this critique, the nursing has been established by meeting the needs of the patients. Nurses meet the needs until the patient is able to meet the needs on their own. The 14 needs identified by Henderson are relevant needs that must be met. Each activity connects a part of the patient's health and well-being. Without physical health, the patient's mental health may deteriorate. Without the practice of one's faith, the mind may wander. These are all very important aspects of health attainment. I find each need to be equally important and for a complete physical, emotional, and spiritual health. Each activity has a purpose and must be addressed. There are ways to combine some of these needs, but ultimately, they are all being addressed. The needs theory has 14 needs that have stayed consistent since first developed. This theory can direct a nurse's practice without having to exclude any of the basic principles. The framework is basic and complete. Each need is easily identified and can be applied as necessary. The theory can also be considered abstract, as the needs can be applied as the nurse deems appropriate. The concept remains the same by meeting every need the patient has, but interpretation and prioritizing the needs is left up to the nurse. Henderson's theory has been researched and tested for applicability in a variety of nursing situations. The assumption for this theory is that people want to have a certain amount of independence, and nurses should assist the patient until they can reach that state of independence. It is also assumed that the nurse will know how to meet the needs identified, and that the nurse will commit to meeting those needs. For the external analysis and evaluation of the critique, this theory was considered a grand theory. Several mid-range theories were developed from the needs theory, and they focused the care. Virginia Henderson was very influential in nursing. Her theory has been used as a framework in nursing care development and nursing education development. Many nursing programs use the needs theory as a guideline to what nursing care should accomplish. She helped develop material and write nursing textbooks. Several mid-range theories were developed from the needs theory that focused care on specific needs for the patients. Organized nursing in the community has failed to play the influential role it might play in moving toward a unified, collaborative health service. Many times the role of the nurse is overlooked by the doctors and by the patients. We are seen as secondary providers just doing what the orders say to do, instead of being recognized as individual providers of health. We must be more proactive as leaders and communicators for our patients. I try to implement the 14 needs when I am taking care of my patients. Henderson stated, "The complexity and quality of the services is limited only by the imagination and the competence of the nurse who interprets it." There are some good, hardworking, and critically thinking nurses, but there are also some that do not apply the skills to the fullest. Nurses will need to be creative in their techniques of meeting patient needs. not all the needs will be apparent at first. This theory enables a nurse to be creative in discovering the patient's needs and in developing a plan to meet those needs. The next section I'd like to discuss is the contributions to nursing and healthcare. Virginia Henderson's needs theory was the foundation for the nursing practice. Many mid-range theories have been developed off of the needs theory. She saw the need for change or restructure nursing so it would be more autonomous from medicine. Nursing is a profession of helping people, not just physically, but also mentally and spiritually, by meeting the 14 basic needs. Virginia Henderson said, nurses who practice according to this concept must know how to assess the need for help with breathing, eating, eliminating, resting, sleeping, and moving, keeping the body clean, warm, and clothed, and making life more than a vegetative process by communicating with others, maintaining human relationships, learning, working and playing, and recreating. Health is more dynamic than just physical capabilities. The nurse must create a deep connection with the patient for the trust and respect to be nurtured. Once the trust and respect is obtained, the nurse can aid the patient with deeper needs. She believed that nurses must be able to make health prevention a priority in their practice. Preventing disease is much easier for people to accomplish than trying to heal from a major illness. Henderson has pointed out the frustration many nurses feel since they are unable to give the necessary care because of the healthcare system barriers. The hospitals are run more like businesses now, which make it more difficult to preserve integrity and to provide caring in nursing. The nurse must be taught diligent in their practice and understand they are the patient's advocate. Henderson's theory was a framework for many nurse education programs and for many textbooks. It was also the framework for patient care. The next topic I'd like to discuss is theory-practice link. Virginia Henderson believed that her theory fit into nursing practice of today and said nurses are, under ideal circumstances, health workers who act interdependently with other health workers. They should be masters of their unique role. Nurses are given the unique opportunity to interpret the patient's needs and to be creative in developing a plan to assist the patient back to health. The nurse is considered excellent if they can determine the patient's needs and then meet those needs for as long as necessary. The nurse has the knowledge and the continued education, or with continued education, will be able to expand on that knowledge. We must develop the necessary relationships with our patients so the care we give is optimal and direct. Nurses need to be an example to the patient by showing them what health looks like and teaching them with the knowledge the nurse has obtained through the years. Nursing is more than just knowing how to regain or maintain health. It is a lifestyle we must exhibit so we can be leaders and examples of health to our families and communities. In summary, Virginia Henderson was one of the original grand theorists in nursing. Without her contributions, nursing may not be at the advanced level it is in today. The 14 activities in her patient need theory are essential to regaining full health for not only the patient, but also the community. Nurses must strive to be advocates for their patients. They must teach and show their patients and their patients' families how to attain optimal health and what it looks like. They must implement all 14 activities that Virginia Henderson developed so health can be an attainable goal. Thank you.